This pretty little thing here, Kouri Richins, has been selling herself as a grieving widow for the last year. Kouri has been going around doing interviews and selling her children's book she wrote for her sons, 3 boys she had with Eric Richins. You can see up there in the clouds, that's Eric. She wrote this book for her sons after her husband died suddenly. She said she couldn't find anything for her boys to connect to, so she wrote this book and she was selling it on Amazon. This is her husband, Eric Richins. In 2022, Eric was found with 5 times the lethal amount of fentanyl in his system, and it sounds like initially it was chalked up that his death was just another casualty in the fentanyl epidemic in America. But it sounds like there were some warning signs and problems in this marriage, starting with possibly the couple's trip to Greece. On this trip, Eric claims that he got very sick after eating with his wife, and he said to a family member he thought it was possible that his wife had poisoned him. But it seems like he put this out of his mind because at some point this couple had debated purchasing this home for 2 point something million. And Eric decided that he thought it was just a waste of money and he didn't want to buy it. And it seems like his wife was pretty set on it, though, because she took it upon herself to go into his work life insurance policy and change it so that she would now be the sole beneficiary for this work insurance policy that he shared with his partner. But he and his partner get a notification of this change, and it seems like it kind of spooked them, right? Let's fast forward to February of 2022. His beautiful wife makes him a Valentine's Day dinner. He eats the dinner and he gets very, very sick. He injects himself with an EpiPen. He takes some Benadryl and he survives this dinner, but not for long, because in March of 2022, she makes him a Moscow Mule before bed and Eric drinks it. She claims that her child woke up with a nightmare and she went and climbed into bed with her child. And it wasn't until about 3 a.m. she said she went back into her bed where she finds her husband cold. She claims that she did CPR, that she called 911, but it sounds like the paramedics and other people noticed that she did not have any of this foam that Eric had by his mouth. And they found that to be weird. What also seems to be weird is she said that she left her phone on the bedside table when she went to check on her child. But it seems like somebody was text messaging on her phone and then erasing these text messages. The messages were between an unnamed acquaintance. What do you think that means? So her husband dies, and the very next day, she signs on that property that she wanted. And she, according to the police, she has a party and she is celebrating the purchase of this home. I don't know what else was going on. It sounds very weird. It sounds like all of that was happening until Eric's sister shows up and lets her know that Eric had taken a precautionary measure of switching his wife, Kouri, off of his will and replacing it with his sister, just in case that those dinners that were making him sick was something else. So Kouri gets really mad and there is an altercation. And it sounds like after that, things got weird between him and his family. And they eventually found out that she had actually bought, on 2 separate occasions, drugs, fentanyl, that she had allegedly mixed in with his Valentine's Day dinner and allegedly his Moscow Mule. And she is now sitting in a jail cell waiting her court date